Oh boy, so here we go. So yes, we've got a new warning straight from Blizzard about managing your expectations. I kid you not. Plus, you will not believe how long it will take you to complete a season's battle pass. This is pretty wild. Also, check out the PS5 and Xbox Series X and Switch giveaway in that pinned comment, but let's do this. Yeah, so we're going to start out here with Rod Ferguson, who goes on to say this: managing expectations, going to talk about seasons and expansions a lot more later. But I'm seeing some people misinterpreting the Game Informer article. The story that Joe P refers to in seasons are new quest lines that help to provide context to new seasonal mechanics, not a new campaign. So yeah, a lot of news outlets rolled with this story from Game Informer, and we got some sensational headlines like this one right here. I actually covered this recently. Diablo 4 will receive new story content every 3 months, which sounds really alluring, really appealing, and a lot of us got excited. So we need to actually lower our hype levels when it comes to this sort of thing and not expect it to be like a full-blown, absolutely huge campaign story arc. Seems like it's just going to be some sort of tutorial perhaps that's going to be introducing us to some cool mechanics. Hopefully they're cool. We'll see. Now, we have this one right here, a follow-up. It says this. Zoom it in. To clarify, will those new quest lines progression story be paid content, DLC, or just part of periodic new content releases like Diablo 3 Seasons? Great question. And the response from Rod Ferguson is this right here: just part of the free season. So yes, it is going to be a free experience with that one. Now, Paul Tassi of Forbes actually picked up on this, and he had an article that was released, and it goes on to say this right here: is Diablo 4 trading big expansions for seasonal story content? And a lot of people were like, wait, what? Please say it isn't so, because I'm super excited for the actual big expansions. And Paul Tassi did actually reach out to Rod Ferguson. Rod, are you still doing big expansions? And Rod did take out the time to reply, saying the following right here: yes, our live service will be seasons and expansions. There's going to be free content within seasons, of course, but the expansions themselves are going to be paid. You do have to lay down some money for those expansions. It's just the way it works. You got to pay the developers. Now, furthermore, it says this from Joshua: can you guys confirm that we won't have to go to the Fields of Hatred if we don't want to? Example, there's no little statues there. Also, are the rewards cosmetic only, so it won't be unfair to people who don't? And he's basically asking, you have to actually venture into these PvP zones to gain access to these statues, to the Lilith statues, that sort of thing. And Joseph Fora responded saying, you don't need to go into the Fields of Hatred. The only rewards unique to that content are cosmetic in nature. Yeah, we'll see how cool looking they are as well. Now, we have PC Gamer, who had some more interesting things to say about how long it will take for us to get through the actual Game Pass content. Check it out right here. It says this. It's pretty crazy. It says, right now, the Battle Pass, when you're figuring in completing the season journey alongside doing other content in the game, you're looking at roughly 80 hours worth of time invested to complete the entirety of the Battle Pass. To level a character to level 100, it could take a little longer than that based on how you play. So, oh boy. So yeah, there were some comments about this one from the community. Some people are not happy that's going to take 80 hours to get to the end of the Battle Pass. That is, of course, where the most sought after cosmetics are going to be. So let's get into this a little bit more. We have this one from Sticky Bandit, who says, I don't like the idea of having to pay for a game, then also pay for reoccurring battle passes to have access to all of the content, especially Diablo, because a major part of the game is loot and gear. Yes, even cosmetics, because then it will feel like they make all the coolest stuff for the premium battle pass. I really hope there is a way to at least make back some of the cost, of the battle pass to use on future passes and keep the ball rolling. Yeah, the concern is you don't have the time to complete the 80 hours. You leave a lot of those rewards on the table, so to speak, and then a whole new season begins and a new battle pass essentially gets rid of the old battle pass, and you leave behind all that cool potential gear. And that's where a lot of people are like, ugh, this is not what I want after spending $70. Now, we have further comments here from how do you say this one? Blah, blah, blah. All right, it says 80 hours of playing how I want, 80 hours of having to do very specific things on a daily, weekly basis. So yeah, is it going to be where you're doing these constant tasks to appease to the battle pass, or can you just do what you want? That's going to be the biggest question and concern. Furthermore, we have, look, just be sure to log in every day and keep spending money. Okay? Suppose that's going to be Blizzard's ultimate goal for all of us. However, we do have this one right here. It's not all bad. We have this from Pendulum, who says the average casual gamer spends about 2 hours a day playing video games. A season will be at least 3 months, 90 plus days. An 80-hour battle pass will take slightly more than 1 month to complete for the average casual gamer, and way quicker for anyone who plays more often. That's a perfectly good length for a battle pass designed to be completed within 90 days. Do you guys agree with that one or not? Or do you think you need like a little bit of leeway with how much time you would have to invest with the battle pass? I'm curious to see how many of you will begin to feel like your freedom might be taken away because you're constantly looking at, oh, I complete this challenge. Or if it's going to be more of a natural completion of the battle pass. That's what I'm hoping for. And yeah, only time will tell. My biggest concern is that they have the absolutely coolest looking gear at the end of the battle pass, and it's not even in the actual open world. That is always going to be my big concern, so I'm hoping that is not the case. All right, so let's get into your top comments from my most recent video. Let's do this. What was my most recent video about, you ask? It was this one right here. Finally gets a new update, new gameplay features tied to story DLC, quality of life changes, and more. Check it out on the channel if you did miss it. And we have the top comment from JDTW, who says, these news videos are what's carrying me to the release of the game. I have little interest in other games since Diablo 4 beta. I know exactly what you mean. Even with other games that are coming up here this month, all I can think about is like Diablo 4, to be honest with you. Yes, I am excited for Jedi Survivor. Don't get me wrong. I'm curious about Dead Island 2, but man, Diablo 4 is front and center in my mind, and I didn't think that would happen considering also that Starfield will be releasing. Yeah, Rudy says this as well. If Blizzard makes it difficult to respec, then there will be just a meta of best builds copied and pasted from around the net. The majority of players will run for fear of not playing the most optimal options. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. But I think that would take away from the unique and individual player-created do-it-yourself builds. Limiting the ability to respec our characters more freely will ... will definitely create a more linear played experience than I think will take away from a really cool and more custom experience possibility. Shocked smiley face emoticon. So yeah, my personal opinion about that one is I just think that no matter what, there's going to be people that seek guides out on YouTube, whatever. That's how they want to play the game. If they want to play the game by jumping back and forth between an internet browser, looking up guides, and then going to the game, that's cool. I know that there's people that are kind of more like me. I personally like to go into games and not have anyone tell me what to do and try to really embrace the game and enjoy it. Even when it comes to things like Elden Ring and Souls franchise, which honestly, sometimes it can be very difficult not to look at guides. I hear what you're saying, and there's always going to be, in just my opinion, with this style of game, there's always going to be those people that create the ultimate build. It's going to happen, and, you know, we'll see how the community responds to that. As long as there's many different versions of that throughout the classes, then I think that would be cool. I mean, I'm fine with that. All right, so we have K Grant, who says, can't say I'm excited for the larger gem slots in pieces. I would have been much more pleased if Blizzard kept the same size, but moved them to the side right on the border so as not to hide the piece and also make the gem not so camouflaged against the piece. With larger gem slots right on the pieces, you can see what the piece looks like. I did see in another video that they are going to add a gem tab after all. Maybe not at launch, but they will add it. Also, thanks so much for the info on the Diablo 4 planner. That's very helpful, although I couldn't find where to save your build. But I did notice that after every selection, the URL is recoded, so it could be saved as a bookmark. Oh, okay. Just love your videos. They're very informative. All right, awesome. Yeah, I actually learned something from your comment. Okay, that's cool. So, yes, that Diablo 4 build calculator thing is super, super helpful. And it's cool to see that they're going to be adding, you know, a separate tab for the gyms. That's absolutely necessary. But yeah, it seems like they're trying to be in tune to the need of the Diablo 4 community. I'm just worried about certain things with the game still, especially, I'm just going to say, with the battle pass, that sort of thing does still worry me. We'll see how this all pans out together, but thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Diablo 4 news and updates and open world gaming goodness. I have you guys covered, and I will see you all next time. Take care.